Evening, folks. Pardon the lag. Oh, somebody just went live. Oh, oh, okay. That was just Frank he's not going live. There's a premiere of something. Frank will often take stuff from the week and maybe turn it into a not a short, but just a short video and upload that separately, like, say, just the interview with Matt Copper the other day. I believe that's what it was. I didn't catch it. It was at a time I couldn't get to watch it. I've already seen it before. I saw the Matt Copper episode. So, like, Frank will do stuff like that. He's not going live, but if he were to go live, of course, we would stop this here and hop over to him to see what's going on. But as far as I know, he does not have any plans to be going live today. Yeah, just regular Saturday for him. And what's up to Patrick and to B Chap? How is it going, you guys? Just pretty sure I've got audio, but let me just double check. Because if I don't. Yep, that's me. Great. Yep. Oh, why is the volume so low? I know why the volume's low. I was watching a silly video. Okay. But yeah, Frank shouldn't be going live. But just in case if he did, you know the drill. We stop this, go over to him. And what's up, my bitch slap Satan? How's it going on your Saturday, right? Saturday. My voice does not sound the best. It'll warm up. I didn't speak all day today. Oh, I bitch slap Satan talking about watching while prepping for your sister to arrive from the airport about 9 p.m. Awesome. Nice, cool. Yeah, I hope it was a pleasant plane trip, but it all depends on the passengers. When I had a good flight, it's because there were good passengers, and when I had a bad flight, it was because of one couple. And that was in 2016, and I hope their lives fell apart because that was like flying home in a McDonald's play place for 6.5 hours. Don't fly Aer Lingus. Other than that, I have nothing against Ireland. Oh man, yeah, it's cooling down. Hair's down. Just got the window open a little bit. It's good today because today's like the high was like 22 Celsius. Tomorrow's supposed to be 27 and then back down to cool weather. So I don't know why just that one day of heat, but I'm glad it's not today. I'm tired of going live when it is roasting outside. And what's up, Dragon Sage? How's it going? Yeah, I guess there was a Trump rally going on. They do that. It's nothing Frank is not going to cover on Monday. But speaking of Monday, let me get this out of the way now because I like how Frank just so casually dropped on Friday, like, oh, and by the way, I'm going to be off most of next week. So if you didn't catch that on at the end of Friday's show, Frank is going live Monday like regular because he has his book club. And then for him, it's going to be the 8th through the 13th. He's off. They go upstate New York to look for Bigfoot every year. Great time of year for it. It's right during New Year's Day. So Frank will be off as far as that week goes, the 8th through the 11th. So I will be live October 8th through through the 12th because I do my Saturday show. So it's going to be like we did this once before in May. The sun was a Gemini, so this is just maybe it's an air sign thing, but that's gonna be next week, so that's gonna be fun. Whatever we don't cover here, we'll have plenty of time to cover then. Yeah, Patrick, I will be going live then. So beginning October 8th, I'll be live then, the 9th, the 10th, the last day of the year, and then Friday, October 11th, the very first day of year 25, I'll get to spend it with you guys. And I kind of, at first I was a little bit mad about it. Not mad, but just, I kind of just wanted to go to the show and then not do anything for the rest of that night. But I do like it this way because we had to spend 6 months of just having 1 hour of chat room on YouTube, and that was it. Unless we wanted to suffer through that second hour on another platform. So to basically start the year with only seeing you guys for an hour every day, jump ahead to now, I get to spend the end of the new year and New Year's Day and the next day with you guys. I think that's a fair trade-off. Everything's coming full circle at the end here. At least for me. I don't know what it's like to have the year end at a different time, and I'm gonna start trying to not remember things from before 10 years ago because it was just that long and I'm not that person anymore. So starting next year, that's a new rule. No thinking about who I was before we met. I already did that in the first chat room stories episode. That way I can just dive right into the happy stuff that happened after that. And I will just take all of your lives as very strange because I don't know what it's like to live the way you guys do. I am strictly online only. So yeah, that'll be fun because I thought it was going to be a full solid week the following week, the week of the 14th, and I was like, okay, that's a lot. That'll be 6 days going live, but then it's a week earlier and 1 day less. So that's okay. It worked out back doctor appointment wise, going to my not gay chiropractor so I can get that fixed up from sitting in this chair for 2 hours. It's not, you know what? Because I did go to the movies yesterday, and our theater is like I think they do 3D movies, but they don't have IMAX. So if you want to see something in IMAX, you got to drive a half an hour out of town, which is fine if you can see. I can't see like that anymore, so I had to go to the local theater, and the big drawback to that is that the seats do not recline like they do at the good theater with the IMAX and the whole nine. So, and I knew the movie I was going to see was just a little over 2 hours, and I told myself, that's just like doing a live show. It'll be fine. It's the exact same thing, except you'll be eating and, yeah, and you won't have to type. That's what I told myself. Eh. And I don't, like, it was bright, don't get me wrong. I was sitting there, I had my hat on and my sunglasses on and my earplugs in during the previews because those fuckers are loud, super loud. So I'm not gonna blow out my eardrums on the previews when I'm there for the movie. I'm not gonna waste my eyes on the previews when I'm there for the movie. So I'm sure it looked quite silly, but I'm sure I don't care. And plus, I was sitting way at the top too, so if I would have stood up, everybody would have seen me. So I did that, like I kind of like blinders watching the movie like this with my hat on, had my regular glasses on, and it's uh yeah. I got home okay. I should have rested my eyes more because they were aching during the show, but worse than that was my back. I was heavy laying on that heating pad all last night, all today. And then today's a little bit special because I woke up at 4:30 and couldn't go back to sleep. I'm all right though. I'm fine. I went to go see Patrick. I saw Joker 2 because I did see the first one. It came out this time of year back in 2019, and I did go to see that. I am a Joaquin Phoenix fan ever since 2000 Quills. I don't know if you saw that. Nobody saw that. It's about the Marquis de Sade. It has Jeffrey Rush, Kate Winslet, Michael Caine, and I went with some friends to a theater that is way out of town. I'd never been there, and they would show like stuff that is not going to be played in normal theaters around my area, not even in bigger theaters, just like niche. Like there's still Hollywood movies, but nothing big enough to put in a proper, big theater. So that's where we went, and we went to see, I think, 3 movies. I didn't know what they were. I just knew I trusted this guy who was a movie guy. And one of the movies we saw was Quills, and it's like, oh hey, Kate Winslet. I just saw her in Titanic a few years ago, and um, yeah, no spoilers for that. I love that movie. That is in my top 5. Quills from 2000. Oh my god, Joaquin Phoenix is in that, and I've liked him since then. Uh, Heard some tweets about it back in like 2019. Folks were talking about it. And it also had, I had to write this down, Frances Conroy plays his mother in Joker. Could not think of her name the last time I brought it up, but I looked her up, Frances Conroy from American Horror Story, a few of those seasons. So I did go to see it, and I did like it a lot. I believe it broke some, it might have broken some records, like for a rated R movie doing so well box office wise. Oh, hey, Dandy. I think it's my hair down. The camera doesn't know how to focus on the Hermione Granger hair. Maybe. Maybe I'm too close. I'll sit really still, see if that doesn't help. Because my eyes are a little bit blurry too. Maybe you're just looking through my eyes, and that's why. I'll be a chap saying it sucks. There's a half an hour worth of advertising when they're only supposed to be about 10 minutes of commercials. Yeah, that's how they make money. They got to play their ads. Oh, hey, Jenna, what's up? Short show? Not really. Only if Frank goes live. We're reading the chat room. Oh yeah, Jenna. Yeah, I watched a ton of Halid videos. It makes me sick how our government is reacting. Well, consider the way they've acted the last 4 years, and you'll be like me and not surprised. I just feel bad if there's any like Franklies stuck around in that area because it went inland pretty far. It seems to have, and also well, Jenna, Frank isn't going live. He's premiering a video. That's not quite the same thing as him going live. So no, I won't be stopping this for that. That's a repeat. It's a rerun. We've whatever that is, we've seen it. So we'll stay here. Now Frank goes like live. That's different. I feel like I'm so far away. I don't know why. Nothing changes in this room. Yeah, it's very much you can't as far as Helene goes, you can't like seems like you can't donate to these big organizations because the money does not go to where they say it will. Think about what they did with the truckers, the Canadian truckers, and again, you will not be surprised. I don't see why anybody is surprised by anything that happens on the news. You've seen it all before. Hey, Dusty Blue, how's it going? Yep, Jenna. Yep, giving it away to the people who are here illegally. That's all they've been doing. Why would they stop? So that's not good. But yeah, I don't know if you did see Joker back in 2019. If you didn't, you should. Like find it somewhere, watch it. Like I shit you not. I'm not just saying that as a Joaquin Phoenix fan. I'm a Joker fan anyway. I'm a fan of the character. I'm not a huge comic book person. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to start in on that because I don't know anything about it. But I do like the character. I do like Joaquin Phoenix. I heard some good things. Went to see the movie. Really did like it. Sort of blew me away. It was a very no spoilers because I haven't seen it in 5 years. Violent, rated R film. Maybe not necessarily like sexually violent, not like that. Just regular good old fashioned violence. Um, and it was people talk about it for a reason. It's not just because it was a Joker film. It is a very good film. So if you have not seen the first, just proper Joker from 5 years ago, check it out if you can. because I don't know if Joker 2 is something that somebody could just jump into just as is and just watch it. I, it does, like, you could, as far as Joaquin Phoenix goes, because he is still Arthur Fleck. He is still the Joker. He is still that character. He's not phoning it in at all. Dude is still bringing it. And he, again, got his weight super down. He does not look very healthy in that film at all. It just bones sticking out and just, uh, emaciated looking, not being fed properly looking fella does not look healthy at all. It's just so much that I'm like, here, do you want this popcorn? I don't need it, man. You need it more than I do. Is he gonna make it through this scene? Oh, Dusty Blue. Oh yeah, another hurricane coming through. Yeah. I wonder how natural that is. Jenna, Mission Hospital is the morgue now. Yeah. That's giving me very The Walking Dead vibes, like what happened when Rick was in the coma. Not to make light of it is a tragedy. Do not get me wrong. I realize there are folks that had like their whole home swept away, family swept away, all that thing. I'm not making fun of that at all. So maybe see the first Joker before you see Joker 2. But Joker 2, it picks up. He's been, he got arrested at the end of the last movie, so he's been locked up for a minute. I forget if they said or not how long, like 2 years. I don't know if it's been 4 or 5 years, like in real life, but he's been there a while. And he's not saying a lot. They're just shuffling him around the prison, hey, Arthur, give us a joke. And he's just like, dude is not saying anything. He's not making eye contact. He's just like, just probably not even paying attention to where he is. Not the actor, the character. And so it is kind of like a slow build into it. And then you will have to forgive me. I did just watch it once, and for me that was about 3 days ago, so I can barely remember it. So I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, it starts with this scene, and then it goes to that scene, and then we get no. It it is billed as, I think it's technically a musical, but it's not My Fair Lady. They're not just bursting into song, big dance number. It's not like that at all. It's more like a movie that just happens to have the actors singing. And when they do sing, it's not like a big, big Broadway thing, like especially with Joaquin Phoenix. I like what he does because he'll start out, you can almost barely hear him because he's just barely making sound. And then, like, his voice gets a little bit stronger. He's getting more into the song. His voice gets bigger. I have not watched Walk the Line, but I've heard he can sing. And he can sing. He's all of the anguish that the character is going through. You hear it come through his voice. You see it in his acting, and then he sings, and you hear it in his voice. So the man is delivering. And what I do like about it is they're using old songs, old standards, I think they're called. I know like about half of these songs just from like Judy Garland and her show, and some of these songs I listen to on a weekly basis. So they're it was hard to not sing along in the theater. I'm not going to be a dick like that, but I'm just kind of like mouthing the words while I've got my hat and all this stuff and trying to like eat my popcorn and try not to see the lights and just all the extra nonsense that was distracting me from the screen. Oh, what's up, Arden? How's it going? Oh, Off the Line was good. Yeah, I really do want to see it now, especially after watching this movie. I got out of this film and I was thinking, dude, I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that movie now. I don't have a choice. I gotta see how good he can. I've heard nothing but good things about Walk the Line. I just have not seen it for whatever reason. I don't have anything against it. And everybody loves Walk Hard. You've got to see Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. As a Frankly, you need to watch it, and as a movie watcher, comedy lover, you have to watch it. It's so funny. It's that bit that Frank plays about the smoking reefers and recurring jokes and just other stuff. I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's so good. It's so funny and it never stops. but I'll come back to that in a minute. Um, so absolutely no complaints at all from Joaquin Phoenix. I haven't seen everything he's done. I've never seen him give a bad performance, and he was doing the damn thing in this. My only real complaint is that I would have liked to see him more. But we don't spend as much time with Joaquin as I would like. Because there's a girl in this one. And uh, I don't know how to quite go into talking about Lady Gaga. Because I was a fan back in the day, you know, Little Monster and all of that. And then Joanne came out in 2016. And I said no. And then Chromatica came out in 2020. And I had to piece together my own album, and I'm like, you know, this is just too much work for one. I'm not an album producer. I should not have to do this. And so I kind of really don't care what she's up to. She can do what she wants. I am just interested in if she is going to put out any more good music because I like dance music, and when she wants to write a good song, she can. I wish she wanted to write more good songs. And I have not seen like House of Gucci. I didn't see her A Star Is Born. I hate Shallow. Cannot stand that song because I don't know what she's saying, and I don't care to look up the lyrics. So that's where I kind of stand with her now. So I was not going to the film for her. I was going for Joaquin Phoenix, and I saw the first one. She just happened to be there. But I have seen Gaga on American Horror Story, and she can act. I'm not just talking her up because she's famous. She can't act. Um, I didn't care to have to be staring at her cheek implants and her fake lips for the whole movie. I miss her face from 2011. Um, but that aside, I mean, she looked, you know, healthy, in shape. I guess if you want to say that there's a little bit of dancing in it. They do that very well. Of course, she's a good dancer. I didn't know Joaquin could move like that, so go him. Uh, but she is not a bad actress. Her being there does not drag down the movie. It's not like she's putting in a bad performance and bringing down the whole film. That does not happen at all. She gets through it. She knows the material. She's playing a character. She's doing her thing, I guess. I just don't know too much about her acting outside of, you know, because the last time I saw her was like 2015, 2016 acting. So that's just how long it's been. But it kind of really came off like she's just like not crazy, like institutionalized, needs to be locked up, but it's like she's just a girl who has heard about Arthur Fleck, the Joker, and just likes to sing because she'll just kind of just be having a conversation and then just start singing a song. And it's like, but not in a crazy way, just in a, like, you know, like when you're just thinking of a song and maybe you want to sing it out loud, but you don't because that will make you look crazy. Well, they're in a nut house. You can't look any crazier than you already are. So she just starts singing. And it's like, okay, that's nice. It happens a few times. And it's kind of done in such a way that you don't know, like, are they imagining this or is this happening in real life? Because it will happen where at one point Joaquin is like singing and he's all around the room and he's getting all big with his voice, and then it cuts to back to where it was at the very start. So it was all in his head. So some of the stuff is, you can tell like he's just imagining this because he's just going through trauma, and then some of it is like real life. No, they're just actually just sitting there singing. Arden heard very mixed views over Joker 2. I've accidentally saw two thumbnails since yesterday, and then I just scrolled past them. I didn't want those to influence what I was gonna say today. And then after this, I can, you know, go and watch those and see what angle they're gonna take. Because I think a lot of folks are just gonna harp on the fact that Gaga's there and just say it's a bad movie because of that. She doesn't make it worse. On the other hand, she doesn't make it better. I That could have been any girl there, to be honest, because she does a fine job. Again, do not get me wrong. But I wasn't sitting there thinking, oh my God, this chick is crazy. She's crazier than Joker. She's or like got some screw loose or something. I didn't get that from her at all. She just seemed like a chick who was a fan of Arthur Fleck and who just liked to sing and smoke cigarettes. There's a lot of cigarette smoking in those movies. So, but I mean, I know they don't use real cigarettes, but still, I couldn't smell it. So I kind of didn't understand the need to have her there, just the Harley Quinn character. And you know, again, at the same time, is it just because I don't know if they wanted to make this a musical and then they brought Gaga in, or they got her and then decided to make it a musical? I didn't look that far into it. I shouldn't have to. Like, I should just be able to tell from the film. We shouldn't have to do all this friggin' book report work to find out the meaning behind a film, like why they came together. It should just be obvious. But you know, honestly, you know, having said that, they could have just done a part two some way that, like, they didn't even really need to have her. I would have liked to see more about what Joker is doing or going through. I don't know where they would have taken it. I'm not going to sit here and try to rewrite the film. I did only see it once. I would like to see it a couple more times to sort of get it in my head a little bit better to remember it. Um, but I mean, overall, not bad. Overall, not bad at all. It was entertaining. There were parts where I was like sitting there, you know, I was fighting, singing along. You know, I'm like grinning from ear to ear like an idiot. At one point, Joaquin does like jump up on a table, and there's all these other like inmates around, and I was getting hardcore Quills vibes because something like that happened similarly with a different character, not with his character in that film. No spoilers. Great scene. Um, so I did like that. And then at one point they do play it's just some guys playing on a trumpet, and I love this song, Fly Me to the Moon. Recognize that like the very first note. So I'm like, oh, and I was kind of glad nobody sang it because there is a album that goes along with this movie, and it's basically Gaga singing these old standards plus a couple of new songs. And I'm kind of glad she didn't do her own spin on Fly Me to the Moon because I would have been not happy about it. Talk about that album in a minute. There isn't too much to say. And Arden, I'm glad you got some great weather in PA. And what's up, John Rogers? How is it going on assuming it's Saturday? Saturday, yes. Dandy, chrysanthemum. Which flower is that? Is that one of those holiday flowers? Is that the one that's poison to cats? I don't know flowers. Is it red? Like red orange? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, something like that. Is it like a holiday flower? I don't know. Like I know roses. I don't know. Oh, what's up, Lisa Gray? That Nick Lee's cute. Oh, and one thing the film didn't do, I thought it was going to start doing like flashes back to the old film for filler. They didn't do that early on. A little bit later on, they do a few flashbacks, but they're not like showing full-on scenes. It wasn't like sitting through Frozen 2. Fall flower, Dandy. LOL. Right. Dragon Sage saying, I help my GF decorate and redecorate her porch for every season and holiday in pumpkin and ghost mode at the moment. Very cool. Yeah, nice weather today. It was I think it got up to like 22 Fahrenheit, I guess. I mean, like I open up the window, it feels cold, so it's kind of balanced it out with what's going on here. But overall, good movie. I would say it's a solid 7 out of 10. Whereas the first one, of course, I would rank higher. I kind of wanted more violence. I got so far into it, and I'm like, wasn't there more violence in the last one? There's not very much blood. I just like I was being entertained, but I wasn't being like scared or shocked or by anything. So there was that, but it was nice to hear songs that I do know and like, so that kind of helped along. I don't know what else they would have sung there. I'm not sure exactly what angle they were going for with that film. I'm not sure exactly what year it's supposed to take place in. Again, I don't know if what's supposed to be modern times, or I'm pretty sure the first one wasn't that supposed to be like the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. They really don't allude to a date at all. Oh, and I did want to look this up because they said something, and of course, I don't have subtitles, and that's just that's a quite frankly premiere. That's not live. That's what premiere means. But they said something, and I jumped up out of my chair, and let me look this up now because they said, where's IMDb? Here it is. Load. Yeah, what the hell? Okay, yeah, Lady Gaga, her name in the film that is just Lee, but then later on they say her name is Harley Quinzel. And I heard the Zell part and I jumped up, but that's what it says. It's I'll type it. It's okay, I just looked that up now. Lee. And again, I don't know if this is any kind of, canon with the character, or if they just made it up for this film. I don't know. I know less about Harley Quinn than I know about the Joker, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like an expert when I'm not. But yeah, I heard the Zell part. I'm thinking Zell. Like I know those guys. What the hell? Okay, but that's not it. That's not what it was. And they did bring back some characters from the first film, including Gary, the wee man. I liked him. They brought him back on. Oh, no, what's up, Francois? Oh, Dusty Blue. In our Brooklyn community, Halloween is competition time. What neighbor could outdo the other with Halloween decorations? Yeah, as far as Halloween decorations go, Ohio is the state where somebody will for a while there this happened every year, but they would take a dead body and set it up as if it was a Halloween decoration, and then after a week or so neighbors complain about a smell, and then the police show up and they find out it's a deceased person. That used to happen every year like clockwork. Oh, nice, Dragon Sage. Yeah, heading to the backyard fire in a few minutes. So this is it for me until later on tonight. Cool. Awesome. Have fun at the fire. Eating while watching. Nice. I like to eat when I watch these two. I don't blame you. But yeah, overall, good film. If you've seen the first one, check out the second one. Don't expect the same thing. I was expecting, more violence. It was not. I'm not disappointed by that necessarily, but I just would have preferred maybe more action and less. Why is this girl here? It's she. And again, it could have been anybody. I'm not just downing Lady Gaga. It could have been any chick there. I just don't see the point of it. And she just kind of, then about halfway through you find out her real backstory, and then the rest of the time she's speaking with him, it comes off very insincere. There is a sex scene. You can't see anything, but that happens, and I'm like, oh my god, was this guy a virgin? No wonder he's so hooked on her. But yeah, good songs. It was entertaining. I wasn't sitting there like checking my phone every 5 minutes. So I got my money's worth and my 2 hours worth of entertainment. I wasn't sitting there, it wasn't The Last Jedi. I wasn't sitting there trying to forget I ever watched it. And I would watch it again. It is not a terrible film. It was entertaining. Again, I like the songs. So yeah, if you're a Joker fan, it's worth checking out. If you're a Joaquin Phoenix fan, it's worth checking out. And if you're a Lady Gaga fan, if you have to watch absolutely everything she does, check it out. She is again not bad. She's a good actress. She does her thing. I really did like her in American Horror Story Hotel. I think her character's name was the Countess, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So that was pretty okay. It was worth hurting my eyes for the whole day and my lower back, mostly my hip. And what really messed me up, I think it was the popcorn because my teeth have been hurting ever since. I've brushed my teeth a few times since then, but I should know better. But I only ate half a tub of popcorn, but that messed me up worse than anything. But yeah, definitely check it out. And what happened was, this will go quick. A few days ago, my brother gets in touch with me talking about, yeah, I don't want to disappoint you, but there's this new Lady Gaga album out, and it's something to do with the Joker movie. And I was like, oh, fuck. I didn't know. Like, I heard rumors it was gonna be a musical. I didn't think that was true. And then here's this whole album, and I'm like, oh no. I gotta listen to this because I'm gonna go see the movie. I can't do it after the fact. What if there's a good song on there? Like that's gonna happen. Gaga hasn't written a good song since The Cure in 2017. So I'm like, here we go. This is gonna be Joanne and Chromatica all over again. But it was like 45 minutes worth of music. I had time. So I was like, well, I'm only gonna do this once. So I took notes. Oh, Patrick, talking about Geordie's Newcastle folk like to grow croissants along with leeks. They hold big competitions, very competitive. Danny, yeah, the dead body thing. Yeah, I just heard a meme, a video just earlier today, talking about leaving a dead body on a porch. And I was gonna say comment something like that's such an Ohio thing. It must have been over on oh, Lisa Gray. It must have been over on Tumblr. Oh, Lisa Gray. Yeah, it must have been it's a replay with Jehoshaphat G. Jupiter Gulanello. He was Joaquin Gulanello last night, and many other names. That's the thing with Jay Gulanello. Anytime his name comes up, you give him a new J name every single time. That's a new thing to do. But yeah, there's I guess a companion album for Joker 2 called Harlequin. And it's just something Lady Gaga released like as a album to go along with the movie. And just looking at the names of the songs, I was a little bit mad. I'm like, well, I know all these songs. I thought it was gonna be new stuff. I know Good Morning, Get Happy, that's entertainment, Smile, uh, uh, stuff like that. So, like, oh well, let me listen to these anyway. Maybe it's something different with the same name. I don't know. So I go through all of them, and basically it's like, okay, Good Morning, that's from Babes in Arms. Get Happy, that's from Summer Stock. Um, and I didn't know what angle the movie was going to go in. Like, did he meet a jazz singer? What are they going to do with all these, old songs? And I really don't care for the versions of these songs. A few of these songs are on the Judy Garland's Alive from 1961. I listen to this at least once a week when I'm ironing the sheet because it takes about 2 hours to iron the sheet, and that those two CDs are about 2 hours long. So I'm just listening to versions of songs that I've heard better from Judy, and like even Smile. It's so disjointed and rushed. I like Smile, but so right when I got to it's 13 songs. I got to Close to You. If you don't know Close to You, that's Marge and Homer Simpson's song. That's how I know it. And I was just kind of realizing, I'm like, this is like the third time this has happened. We're never going to get another Hair. We're never going to get another Edge of Glory. We're never going to get another Bad Romance. She doesn't need it as much anymore. She doesn't want it that bad. She's just not going to put the effort in. We're just never going to get another good song as is that I don't have to find a remix of. And I was just, accepting that fact. And I was on track 11. There were two more to go. So then it gets to the 12th song. It's called Happy Mistake, which right away I'm like, about the name, but I'm like, you know what, whatever, let it play. Can't stop now. Two songs left. It is damn good. It is so good. I had to stop everything and listen to it again. I had to look up the lyrics because I didn't understand what the hell she was saying. That's my biggest problem with her. She's more about belting and projecting than enunciating anymore. I don't know why she decided to make that change. It's a bad choice. But it's a really good song. It's better than anything that was on Joanne. That's what that whole album could have been. That album could have been good. This is better than Million Reasons. It's, why could I? It's I needed a good album back in 2016 and she didn't give me one, so I'm still mad at her. But this is what it could have been, and it really is it's a slower song. It's more of a country-ish kind of song. It's not a dance song like I would like. But it's a good song that she wrote. It's finally she's got two good songs in 7 years. Do that again. Do like 10 of those and release an album. But it just, whatever. I'm just happy to have that. Well, whatever. And then you listen. I think the last one is That's Life. We know That's Life. And then these are songs in the movie that, like, she doesn't necessarily sing all of them, but they're in the film, and I guess she just wanted to do her own version of it. It's just, I don't care. We got Happy Mistake. That's really all I care about. It's a listen toable song. It's 4 minutes long. You don't got to look for a remix of it. You don't have to wish it was better. Because of a lot of her songs, she'll come out with, like, they start out really good, and then about halfway through, she'll fuck them up. She's got a single out now with Bruno Mars. Don't even tell me the name of it because I listened to it once and I've been trying like my damnedest to forget I ever heard it. And I think I've nearly got it out of my memory. I almost can't remember the name of it. Thank the gods, because it's just that bad. It is just that bad, and the video of it is worse. The video makes me want to watch Walk Hard, listening to Harlequin, or Harlequin, the CD, makes me want to watch Walk Hard, and then I watch the film, and that makes me want to watch Walk the Line, and they're playing these songs that I know from back in the day, and it's reminding me of other stuff that I like. Even Happy Mistake reminds me of another song by another artist that I like better. So I see what they're doing with this film and this CD. They're just reminding us of things that we like better. That really shouldn't be the angle a film and a CD want to take. They should want to introduce brand new things to you and make you like them, not rehash things you already like. So I did notice that. And Daddy said he's always has lights on his porch and he changes them for every holiday or season. Dusty Blue's saying it's a fun time to walk around. And this one guy every year just is spot on with Halloween decorations. Last year, the topper was a guy sitting in the electric chair that was animated. That is cool. Oh, will Jay ever announce his name? Dusty Blue is saying. I gather he'll keep it a mystery. He should keep it a mystery. He really should. He really should. Giuseppe or Julius. It's the sorry, Close to You. Why do birds suddenly appear? When Homer saw Marge for the first time, that's the song that was playing. That's how I know it. I guess that's the Carpenters because that was supposed to take place in the 60s originally. It's oh, what's up, Moon Buddy? as far as Harlequin, the CD goes, it's not gonna be the worst versions of these songs that you heard, but again, I've got versions that I like better. It does have that one good song on there, and thankfully, we live in a time where you don't have to spend a penny on an album. You can just listen to it for free. But the Joker, the film, it does have a point to it. At least the points I took away from it. One, don't date your fans. Don't date your fans, because it turns out Gaga's character is just basically a fangirl. She pretended to be nuts to get into the psych ward to meet Joker because she liked the TV movie that they did about him, in universe. And that keeps coming up a few times. She's like, "Oh, it was such a great TV movie." And then later on, somebody says it's bad. And he kind of looks at her like, she's like, "No, honey, it was good." And another time it comes up, he's like, "Was it really that good?" So I like that he cares about the TV movie that they made about him in universe. I would too. But the second point, the second even bigger lesson that I took away from it is never break character. Because what happens is, hell is spoiling it. He's at the trial and he's smoking in the courtroom. I don't know how he got away with that, but he's basically sits down in front of the jury talking about there is no Joker. It's just always been him, always been Arthur doing all of those things. And he admits to killing his mother, which he didn't get in trouble for. Like they say he killed 5 people, and he's like, "No, it was actually 6. I killed my mom." And then he like admits it to the jury right there. But he's talking about, he's like, "Yeah, it's just all been me this whole time. There's no character. I didn't have a break from reality. It's just been me. It's just been Arthur." And there's Gaga in the courtroom, and she's got her makeup on and all this, and she stands up and walks out, and a few other people stand up and walk out. And I won't spoil absolutely everything for you, but basically he just disillusions the world because it's being televised, this whole courtroom trial, and he says that, and if you kill the illusion, if you just kill off that character, then what are you? And it has negative consequences, and then the credits roll. So yeah, don't date your fans, don't break character. Very, very good lesson in that. So it's not just the Joker and Harley Quinn singing for 2 hours and then it ends. No, there is a point to it. There's a moral to the story. What did we learn today? And then, like, if you want to get into like, the coloring of it is very nice. They use a lot of natural lighting, so I couldn't see a lot of it because it will be like, say me, I'm the actor, instead of this gray background, imagine it's just a big ass window and the sun is pouring through, like the clouds just parted and an angel is coming down. So it had so many shots that use natural lighting, which looks nice, I guess, but I'm sitting there either pulling down my brim or just shutting my eyes or just doing this and like trying to like block out the side so I can see the actor, and just so I didn't see absolutely every single last thing. I missed a few seconds here and there. But overall, it's kind of a fun ride. You kind of get, okay, this is reality, this is fantasy. Okay, I'll go along with it. This guy's fucked up in the head, or why else would he want to keep seeing this chick? And yeah, it's not. I'm sure other people are gonna down talk it quite a bit. It's not as bad as all that. Oh, Depeche Mode, really big band in America. Good band though. Yeah, I mean everybody loves Enjoy the Silence. Oh, Beach App. Yeah, dig the earliest episodes of the Simpsons cartoon. They were funny. Some episodes totally hilarious. Yeah, early Simpsons. You've got to, if you want to survive in this world, go watch some early Simpsons. Watch up, yeah, I don't know, until 2000-ish, I guess. Something like that. I don't know when they exactly fell off. Oh, Dusty Blue saying, I liked finding in the early 2000s One Giant Leap and like almost all the songs. They also released a film of how they recorded music from all around the world. Oh, give watch when you get a chance. That is cool. Oh, Lisa, used to sing Close to You to my firstborn. R.I.P. Camistine. Oh, Depeche Mode is from Essex? I did not know that. Dandy saying their best songs are the ones they didn't play on the radio. Yeah, isn't that how it is? Because I'll tell you this right now. Right now, there's a single off of Harlequin that isn't Happy Mistake. None of those other songs are as good as that. I don't know what she's doing pushing anything but that song, unless she just does not want to be successful. So the best songs are not on the radio. I don't listen to the radio. So yeah, check out the movie, check out that one song, and the damn previews. I'll start with the one good one. Okay, so it was a rather blue and dark, and I did have my sunglasses and my earplugs and my hat on. I kept my hat on for the whole thing. Cause like the ceiling is white. It's that drop tile. So if they're gonna have something bright on the screen, it's gonna reflect on the ceiling. And then so I just had on. I kind of didn't know what was going on. There was a chick, and it was like an action movie. It's like, okay, great. What chick action movie are they coming out with now? And I slowly started to look up, and the first thing I noticed was like, holy shit, is that Norman Reedus? Sorry. Sorry for the noise. But I thought I saw Norman Reedus. I haven't seen him in a theater film before. I've just seen him on The Walking Dead. So I'm like, holy shit. So that got my attention. And then I saw Ian McShane. Like, hold on. And then they show Keanu Reeves. I'm like, oh shit, what is this? It's something called Ballerina. Basically, John Wick is a chick. They're just bringing some bitch on. I don't care, but what I did after the next preview started playing and I thought about it, I didn't know if I saw Norman Reedus or not. So there I was, looking it up on my phone, and he is in it. So I'm like, well, holy shit. But I haven't seen John Wick, and I think I explained why. Because on that first fucking film, in the first 15 minutes, they have so many goddamn alarm clocks going off. I can't take that. My ears can't take that. I can't hear alarm clocks other than when I'm waking up. So no, I understand why they do it for the film. Doesn't make it okay. So I haven't seen one. I don't think I'm gonna have time in my life to watch 4 films just to watch that. So that's just more power to them. But I just don't think I will be seeing that because there's too much research to do, and I just don't have the time. But that does look interesting. If I had seen all the other first 4 ones, I'd be more gung ho about seeing this. I just don't think I'm gonna have the time, and I'm not interested in a chick led action film because I know all they're gonna do is just use a lot of CGI to make it look like she's kicking more ass than she physically can, and it will not be believable. So that happened. Then they get to this other preview talking about what happened in Oz before Dorothy arrived. I'm like, what? And then I realize they're like doing it. It must be like a film based on Wicked the musical, which all I know about that is the chick who did the voice for Elsa sang in the play. Like that's literally all I know, and it's about the Wicked Witch of the West. But what happens is there's this, who's supposed to be like a young Glenda. She's, there, blonde hair, wearing pink, all this stuff. And then here's the Wicked Witch of the West, poof, there she is. And she's wearing dark clothes. It's played by a black girl. And she's, face painted green. And there's Glenda looking at her like, oh my God, you're green. Girl, she's black. Cut that out. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not even paying attention to this. So, like, I just let that preview play. I can really only remember one other one, and this is something we knew this was coming out. I don't care. Zero interest. It's going to be nothing like the first one. But there it was, the preview for, and I knew what it was, Gladiator 2. Gladiator Roman numeral 2, not a proper 2. Um, it just looks like any other modern movie, way too much CGI. I want to say there was Denzel Washington and oh good, Pedro Pascal, if that's his last name. Like them, I recognize them. I don't recognize anybody else that they have. I'm certainly not going to look it up. I don't care. I don't care who does the music. I don't care when it's coming out. I don't care that Ridley Scott directed it. You know what I do care about slightly is if he made this one easier to see, because the first Gladiator, it's a tad bit dark, and this was a film that came out in like what, 2000? But then again, Hannibal came out in 2001, and you can't see anything in that film. But yeah, I don't care. Slightly, maybe if they got Hans Zimmer to do the score again, I would care about the score. That's it. That's literally it. I don't. It's just no, no. I will not be seeing that. You can pay me to watch it. I'm not gonna watch it on my own. That's not gonna happen. And then there was something about Christopher Reeve. I don't know why they were playing that. Like, are they trying to make people cry before this film? Why are you trying to make people cry before a Joker film? Oh, and then this happens. Right before the film, there's a cartoon. Like, they play the Merry Melodies theme. I'm like, what the fuck? But it's very, themed. It's sort of like rehashing. It's slightly rehashing when Joker was on the I forget the name, but when he shot the Robert De Niro character, it's kind of like making fun of that, and it's not very long. It couldn't be more than a couple minutes long, and it was cute. I've never seen a cartoon before a movie before. It did kind of like take me back in time to when they did that kind of thing. So that was fun. That was enjoyable. And then there was not a crowded theater. I went to the earliest showing I could, so it was not going to be a whole bunch of folks. And then with it being rated R, there was not, people in there. Not, like, I don't think there was, nobody brought any kids in for that showing. No. Which, I mean, you could. It's barely violent. Sex scene that's probably over in a minute. You can't, nobody gets naked. I don't think there's any nudity in this film. There doesn't have to be. I'm glad there wasn't. No, I think everybody keeps their clothes on. Yeah, so there's that. Okay. Well, like Time by Pink Floyd then? I don't know any Pink Floyd. Up to Superman Returns pretty good though. The Man of Steel was a poor effort. Yeah, I've heard it's like like the first two Superman are good, but then like he just kind of didn't care there towards the end, or was just doing it for the money, or like the box office was not that good, so people are just churning them out and not caring about it. Oh, you can't take your pants off. Yeah. I never wear pants when I'm live. I'm wearing shorts. I'm not wearing shoes either, or socks. But this week, it quite frankly was a long week, just because we got a Saturday show. And that kind of blew me away, because we got to spend last Thursday and Friday together, and then I got up, I turned my phone on at 9 a.m., and Frank had tweeted that he was going to have a Saturday show, 7 p.m. from the retreat that he was at. So it was like 9:08 in the morning, and I was just, I didn't know how to act, because I've been going live every single Saturday since, well, I've been doing live shows since May, but I started doing live shows every Saturday back on June 8th, so it's been this many months, so I kind of did not know how to act for a couple of hours to not be going live that night. But I still had to go to somewhere, so that was kind of odd. But that was okay. Frank had no, not Frank, but no, what it was, when I showed up to the chat room, it was folks were already there talking about my show, talking about Nikki's not going to be live because Frank is live, and like that was just cool to see. I'd not been, I'd never seen that kind of talk before. Oh, I big slap Satan, thank you. Love comedy. It is so serious. But it was kind of odd being there at first because folks were just asking me a lot of questions, and it's like, yeah, no, it's okay. We can go live next Saturday, and then I couldn't quite say Frank was going to be off next week then because he had not announced that information, so I kind of had to keep that under my hat. But the Martha's Vineyard they were at, and I'm like, Martha who? And somebody said Martha Washington. I'm like, oh well, she's cool by me. I like that chick. She's fine. So that's cool. Now I know. But there was like a lot of health information from people in the chat room, and then the folks at the actual retreat. And it was only an hour and a half. I like I wish it would have gone 2 hours, but we got a lot of information. Everybody got to speak, except for the barefoot guy. I wanted to hear the barefoot guy's opinion on stuff, like his opinion on putting his feet on furniture that did not belong to him, stuff like that. We wanted to speak with Shoeless Joe or whoever from the book that Frank read. And then there was a dieting motivation, and folks just kind of like tips, and they like encouraging each other to be healthy. And then somebody, I forget who was talking, they have they get anxious before they eat every time, and they wanted to know why that was. And I was kind of being serious. I was like, well, I mean, were you ever like anorexic, or did you ever have to like keep your weight down for a bit? It was a guy too, so it's like, why would a guy be worried about his weight unless he was anorexic or modeling or something like that? And they didn't want to say, which I can respect that. They could have just said I'm asking for a friend and been vague like that. They didn't. Patrick, yeah, he might have been too shy. He wasn't too shy to take his shoes off and just be barefoot in front of everybody, but oh, nothing to say. I'm just gonna sit here cross-legged with my shoes off. Must have a strong lower back for that. Because I mean, I will get anxious before I eat, but that's just because it could be like a lot of times I do want to eat, but I know I won't be able to see afterwards, and that's just going to be more of me lying around not doing anything. And then if it's too close to, like, if I'm hungry at 2 o'clock, it's like, well, why don't I just wait till like 4 or 4:30 when I usually eat? Why be eating twice that close together? And then it depends if I'm overweight at all. And by overweight, I mean if I happen to be 100 pounds instead of 99 pounds, then I will get anxious. But I don't know why a guy would get anxious before he eats. No, unless you get some like pain while you eat and digest, then yeah. Patrick, yeah, that was the hippie in him. I'm telling you. Peace and love, man. And did you notice this at the retreat? Like when Frank had the camera on himself, you could see those. There were like two ladies on the couch, and then there was like an end table. Somebody had a damn Pepsi, can of Pepsi sitting there. You're at a health retreat and you're drinking Pepsi. Is it ironic? Is there rum in it? Why was that can there? Is it a stash can? Come on. Like, I had questions. They could have let that go a little bit longer. Oh, Lisa Grace saying, speaking of Martha Washington, my husband's grandfather was named Abraham Lincoln, and his sister was named Martha Washington by missionaries long ago in the Arctic. All renamed natives. Oh, yeah. Oh, good names, though. Good names. Dandy, actually, I think some of the women were barefoot too. Might be a retreat thing. Oh, I don't know. I have to wear shoes all the time because I've got one leg shorter than the other, so I've got to have my lift in the right side. So that means I can never go to Japan. So if I did want to go to Japan, that would be right out. I kind of don't. I always have dreams that I'm in the airport for Japan. That's as far into it as I would like to get. They have a lot of sexual harassment there. And I'd be the tallest person there. I don't want to quite stand out that much. I mean, barefoot's fine if you know how to clean your feet, but I don't know. I'd be looking really hard at folks' toenails, and it's like you want to cross your legs the other way, Buster. Yeah. That was fun. I wish that would have been 2 hours long. I wish we would have been able to like have the chat room ask questions, but I don't know exactly which chat room Frank was able to watch when he was doing that, or if he could even see a chat room, if it was just, microphone and a camera and that was it. But it would have been nice. I'm glad he got to go. That was still a lot of fun. Yeah, Patrick, or secret foot fetish fans. Ew. I'm gonna wear 2 pairs of shoes because of that. Put some boots on over your flip flops. And then Monday, I can't remember who the guest was, but he was not in the studio or not available for a call at all because he had to run up to North Carolina to help out because it's just people helping other people out in the United States these days. We're going old school. And then it was a lot of calls, folks calling in talking about how they, have not had power for so long, have not had food for so long, talking about, property that's been lost and just how tough it's been, how scary it's been just to just have to deal without and know that, help is not going to be coming as quickly as they need it. So that sucks. That's hard to hear about. That really is. I really feel bad for those folks. I could not imagine losing I mean, I have lost people and had to keep living. I don't know. I might have to find out what it's like to lose my house. But I'm not there yet. So my heart goes out to them. So if I had a way to help more people out, I would. It did feel like a Tuesday though, since we had that Saturday show. But it was still a good time. It quite frankly it was just the Tuesdayness of it made it odd. It's okay. I'm glad we are hearing about stories about folks what's going on in the aftermath of the hurricane because those stories need to get out because they're certainly not going to be out on national news and help is not going to be coming on a national level either. It's just regular people with their feet on the ground helping each other out, and that's all we got. That's all we're gonna have for a little while. Oh, when? Oh God, that's when that was. All right, so I thought, there it was Tuesday the 1st. I'm like, cool. Let's just have this be normal. I don't know, just nothing extra going on. Now, the way my week was going to go, since I knew Friday I was going to go to the theater, I was not going to be able to iron the sheet that day because it's like the most boring live stream you've ever been to. It's like a live stream staring at cloth for 2 hours straight and then moving it and ironing. And you can't look away. You can't do other stuff. You're just staring at an iron and listening to the Judy Garland CD for 2 hours. That's all you can do. Was not going to be able to do it Friday. Now, Wednesday I had a doctor appointment, so I was not going to do it that day after the appointment. And then Thursday, I like to just let my body continue to heal, so I wasn't going to do it Thursday. The only day to do it on was Tuesday. So there it was, October 1st, Tuesday. And this was my bad because I got started before 11 a.m. Had everything set up, iron plugged in. I had just gotten my first section ironed out, all perfect. Phone chimes off. And it was it Instagram? I think it was YouTube. But I knew what it was. Like, fuck! Unplug, pull everything over, head on, like the whole get everything set up. And just like I should have known better. I should have known better. This is why I don't eat breakfast before. I don't eat before noon, and this is why I shouldn't do anything before 11 because Frank could go live, and there was Frank going live. So I'm like, son of a bitch, here we go. Let me go to this. But you do always want to go to those because they are fun. And that's when I asked Frank. This was on YouTube. I asked him how many balls he ate at the retreat, and he tried to say he didn't eat any. But I mean, he can say that all he wants, but do I believe him? No. And we always end up talking about food at those streams, and again, that is so tough because I'm so damn hungry at 11 a.m. and I know I'm not going to be eating until 4 or 4:30, so that's always tough. But Monday, a lot of people were asking, quite a few people were asking in the chat room, oh, I hope Jim Lee's okay. Was his family all right? Were they affected, all this? And I was thinking back in my head, when's the last time Jim Lee tweeted? And I wasn't quite sure. It was kind of close. So after that show, I just DM'd him. I'm like, hey, are you guys all right over there? Like, I assumed he was, but I just wanted to find out. And he got back with me. He's like, yeah, nothing barely came over here. So he's fine. So Jim Lee's okay. His property's okay. It's no worries about him. I love that the sheriffs there will arrest any persons impeding the help. Yep, they sure will. Lisa, yeah, ballsy of him to lie about that. And speaking of balls, just today, Gray Still Plays uploaded a video called Testing Cars versus Impossible Ball Challenge. But here's what happened. I was going to go off because Gray is uploading so late lately. I'm starting to think whoever schedules the uploads is in another time zone because it'll go live at like 5 instead of 4. And that makes no sense at all. And I was gonna get ready to be super pissed off about that tonight. But then today he goes live a minute early. Not live, but he drops his video at, I've got it right here, 15:59. That was a minute early. It was a minute before 4. So okay, shut me up. And then it was about balls. So that was hilarious. Just check in YouTube really quick. Yeah, nothing. Okay. So you can't tell me you didn't eat balls. I mean, you can say it. Okay, yeah. But that was the night, April, goodness gracious. October 1st, that's when Matt Copper was on from Cultivate Elevate. And I don't know his real last name. It doesn't matter. He's Matt Copper now. This guy that now I've been taking the pearl powder and the dragon's blood again for my eyes and for my back for the last maybe the end of last month. So it's like this guy, and he's always got the copper around his fingers and stuff like that. And he has his camera, like his camera is up higher in such a way that makes him want to keep his arms raised up and talk with his hands more. And he did the air quotes so many times. It's a new thing now. If somebody does air quotes with their fingers, drink. I'm not going to do it now because we saw it enough last week. But finger air quotes, drink. That's the new thing. So we're all be alcoholics the next time Matt Copper comes on, whenever that is. And that dude is based. Love that guy. So glad he was on. And he had a very interesting thing talking about the moon, like when your energy is like highest the 14 days before the full moon, and then for the 14 days after the full moon, that's when you have less energy. I'm very interested in tracking that. The only problem is I never look outside. I don't know where the moon is. I would have to look that up and then keep track. But I like that he did say that. That is something interesting to keep track of. And then I wonder how it is if it's different for guys or girls, because women, time of the month, that whole thing. But I wonder how that works. I'm kind of thinking about seeing if I can like follow that for a month to see how it goes. And then I forget what topic it was, but Frank and Jim Zell had gotten in touch with Frankincense about, oh goodness, probably you know, one of those uh, uh when somebody unalives themselves in a very suspicious way, like if somebody is found with two gunshots to the back of the head and it's ruled a suicide, you know, something suspicious like that. But what Frank Zell had said, it was a diabetes hanging. I forgot the context of that. It was funny as hell at the time. I got 9:36 p.m. written down. I'm sure it was hilarious if I listened back to it. I wish I could remember back that far. So that was a busy, goodness, that was a Tuesday. Yeah, and then Tuesday, that's when I listened to the Judy Garland CD, so I get to hear all of those songs. I know all of those songs, most of them that were on that Gaga album. When did I listen to that? Oh, that was on Sunday. Okay, so I'd already been through it by then. Okay, now you guys are gonna have to help me out with this because Wednesday, BCP was on Black Conservative Patriot, but he's got a new name on YouTube because like YouTube axed his channel like a couple of months ago, something like that. And I cannot recall. I didn't write it down, but he's got a new channel and it's, you know, it's got the same initials. It's still BCP, but it's like basic care or basic something and the last word. I forget what it is, but he's got a new he is still on YouTube, let's say. That's it, Francois. Yeah, we all have a biorhythm with good and bad days. Oh, dandy, nice. I smell a campfire. Neighbor must be having a fire. Smells great. Nice. As long as it doesn't smell like chemicals, it's all good. Or if it starts smelling like marijuana, like, hey, you guys could invite me over. You know what, party? Anyway, BCP is there, and I guess he's been traveling around. He must have had his 50th birthday this year sometime. Don't know exactly when the man's birthday is. But he was saying because he's always so well dressed, but he was a little bit, you know, bigger before, but now he looks, I almost didn't recognize him at first, and a lot of people said the same thing, like, oh my god, it's BCP. I'm like, I know, right? He looks so different. He has lost some weight, and then he let us know, he was saying before he was something like 170 something pounds. And he's not, he could tell people he's 5'6", but he's only 5'3". He's the same height as I am. And he said he's now down to 143 pounds. And you can tell the man's got energy. He's up there dancing around. I almost got tired, like exhausted watching him. I don't have that much energy in a day. And he's had that much energy at that time of night during the interview. I'm like, holy shit, dude, I'm exhausted. You need to stop. But yeah, he's looking good. I don't know if he said exactly what he did. Maybe it's just the traveling and moving around. Maybe he's eating healthier or just decided to. That's what I did before I turned 30. I kind of went on a health kick and got my weight down. So maybe he did the same thing. He knew he was turning 50, so he went on a health kick and lost some weight. But I mean, he's looking good. I hope he sticks with it. Danny, yeah, I hope it's not my house. Yeah. Francois, yeah, physical, emotional, and another thing that I forget. Yeah, it's something. Maybe it's something I used to know. But yeah, BCP is looking real healthy. I'm happy for her. That is so cool. And that show was funny because, well, not funny, but I had clicked on it, and it's like, you know, Frank does the name of the show, a few of the topics, you know, featuring or like with BCP, and then it just ends there. But then I actually click on the video, and it's like, oh, guests were BCP and Frank Zell. I'm like, holy shit, he's gonna be on the show. So Frank Zell did end up calling in later on, like 8:30. It was towards the end of the show, so we got on there with a call for a little while. It was like what, like 20 minutes. It was a while. It was a good call, and BCP was doing it too, like the finger air quotes. So yeah, that's when I decided officially. Yeah, air quotes drink. See, he should have called himself Black Conservative Pants. That's what I call him. But he goes by something else. That's okay. This cracked me up. One of the Franklies, Carly Ellison. She said Minnesota was stolen from Canada with their accents. So I did know a girl from Minnesota, and she spoke normally, like us, like me. Kind of you would not know she's from Minnesota, I'll put it that way. And then another person had really good advice to write down phone numbers. Don't just keep them in your phone. And they're like, oh, I've learned the hard way. So yeah, if you are able to physically write down phone numbers, and that's good advice for me too, because I do have a lot of information that is just on phone. So just contact information for folks. Have that in general, you should never only have one of something important, so it goes along with that. Like, yeah, have your numbers in your phone, but have them written down somewhere else. The power could go out, maybe you can't find your charger, or your phone dies, you get it. But that is good advice. I'm glad somebody said something. Okay. And I'm glad I did not. I mean, I really couldn't do my ironing on Thursday. I'm glad I didn't. So I was having a little bit of a health issue, but I think I figured out what caused it, because this was happening in August. This happened 2 Sundays in a row where, like, I would wake up Sunday. I have to wake up early anyway to do laundry, so I'm up at 7:30 no matter what. So I do the laundry thing. Everything's fine. I don't necessarily eat any earlier, but I just kind of go about my day, and then I get around to like noon, 12:30, and I would just get this like dull pain. It's sort of like across from my belly button on my left side, which is the side I stand up on. And it was just not bad pain, but just enough that like I noticed like I've got to stop and lay down because this is not going away. And it would just, hurt like that for an hour, then like travel across my stomach, and then after 2 hours it was gone. Did that another Sunday, pain on the one side, 2 hours later it was gone after it traveled over to the other side. I'm like, okay, that's odd. It's happening twice in a row. The following week it happened on a Monday. I'm like, okay, this is 3 times. What the fuck? Never happened again. So I'm like, cool, it was just a fluke. But then Thursday, there it was. It was in like, I'm like, okay, before it happened on Sunday, that's fine. I don't have anywhere to be. But Thursday, I've got somewhere to be. I got stuff to do. I have to eat before the show. Because it wasn't my stomach. It will upset my stomach when I eat later on. But I was kind of thinking, it's like, well, what did I do yesterday? What could I have done? And because I didn't like turn or twist or lift or anything like that, I just got my back adjusted. Nothing to do reproductive area that time. Nothing like that. What could it have been? And the only thing I could think of, and I think this is what it was, because the day before I was singing, and I don't sing a lot. I'm way out of practice. And I was trying to sing really low because that song Happy Mistake has some notes in it that are just quite low. And my voice can't go that low. I have to work it back down there. It can't always I can't always hit low notes. Like I'm not a singer, so I've got to sort of like practice and then be able to sing the low notes so I can sing other songs. But I digress. So I forget what I was singing, but I know I remember at the time it kind of hurt to sing that low. But I'm like, well, whatever. The notes are coming out fine. But then the next day I was hurting, so that kind of I thought it was my diaphragm, but it's like it's over to the side and it's lower. Um, and so what I figured out what it was, since it was hurting roughly in the same spot when I was singing, And since those other pains were happening on a Sunday, after I had been live on a Saturday, it led me to think like, is it just like the too much talking? Was I sitting with? Because I won't put my this leg up on stuff because my other side hurts. So like I will. What was I like sitting funny for those other shows? And then that's what did it. Like I'm starting to figure it out. So like one, if it hurts, stop doing it. So I know that now. It shouldn't happen next week. Like I'm not expecting it to happen tomorrow, since it just happened earlier this week. So it's fine. Since I know what's causing it. And that was the fourth time too. I'm like, come on. And that too, I'm like, well, yeah, it could be stress. It could be something extra like that. But like it wasn't coming from my back. My back had just been adjusted. But like I just maybe I was just sitting wrong before. Maybe it was the singing thing, and I'm just out of practice, so my muscles aren't used to working like that, and just that's not an in shape area of my body anyway. But yeah, so Tuesday I was kinda, or Thursday I was kinda just down. Yeah, that is out of the question. B-Chap talking about perhaps it's time to see a doctor appointment at the local medical clinic. Maybe they can send you to a specialist doctor. Yeah, except they don't go to doctors anymore. Let me grab a hair clip. Now I'm sweating. Because if I were to go to a doctor, they wouldn't find anything. And I'm not doing that. I don't go to doctors anymore. I mean, I go to a chiropractor, but I'm not going to go to I can't see in a hospital anyway. Do you know how bright hospitals are? I won't be able to see after this. I won't be able to, like, I can't watch videos after this. I can't look at my phone after this. I can't read anything after this. I can put things away, but I'm done looking at screens for the day, so I won't be able to, couldn't go to a hospital. But I am my own doctor. I think I figured it out. I was talking to a friend at the time too, and just kind of bouncing ideas back, and just I was surprised I could remember what I did the day before. That's the big thing. I would go to a chiropractor that practices herbal treatments. I mean, he is not. I think I've mentioned before that I've smoked pot. I don't think he's got a problem with it. He's talked about going to concerts before and like having like gummies or brownies or something like that, and like having a good time. Like, dude, I'm thinking like, dude, you party? Like not regularly. He's not a like a stoner who also adjusts backs or anything like that. Yeah, so I think I figured it's just being old and out of shape and not singing as much as I used to, and then like trying to go for notes I really shouldn't and hurting myself. It'd be the same thing because I've done this before. I'm trying to see. I can sing the song. I know the song, and then I go to sing it, and next thing I know, I've blown out my voice for the rest of the day. So it's the opposite of that. Lisa, I know this dang butt bone pain is still reminding me of the stupid fall last week. Ooh, oh, did you land on the tailbone? Ugh. Well, lie on the heating pad. That's what I do. Anything's tight, anything needs to work its way out of my system. Put it that way. I'll lie on the heating pad and it gets things moving. It helps and encourages things along. Let's say I'm not like lying on the heating pad and then I've got to run to the restroom because I'm going to have an emergency. It's nothing like that. But that is good advice. If it was another era, I don't think this is something I would have gone to a doctor for anyway. Because I mean, I used to know how to cure a stomach ache, but then they stopped selling that stuff. And all I would want is like Percocet. I mean, I know they don't give you Percocet for that. I would just want some pain pills. And anytime I've ever gone to the doctor or an emergency room, all they give me is a muscle relaxer. Even though I tell them at the time, I'm like, I work in a factory. You can't give me a muscle relaxer. I worked around equipment. But they just give you a muscle relaxer. And they don't understand that the heart is a muscle. I know that. Hospitals don't know that. Hospitals don't know that Xanax stops an anxiety attack. And that's how they killed my cousin back in 2013. Don't go to the Cleveland Clinic. Go there, use their hand soap, like wash your hands, and then just leave. Don't have anything to do with those people. Ugh. Yeah, Lisa, it was the one of the last times I drank a few years ago. I thought I was gonna sit down on my bed, and I was just a little bit too far away from it, and just kind of slid off the side. Bam! Just fell flat on my ass. Just upright position. Just boom. But I was drunk, so it was fine. And then the next day, go to like just sit down to use the bathroom. Like, I gotta like lean to the side. And that's when I found out I have no ass at all, because what hurt, like, you know how your pelvis looks like the bottom there, you got those two parts there. I felt right on that one, on the, like, I didn't look for a bruise because I felt it for a damn week, solid 7-day week. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, I guess I don't have a butt, but oh, damn it, this hurts. So yeah, I don't drink that much anymore. Oh, I bet you that's Satan cool. My doc taught me a lot about herbs. He got me started. Try wild lettuce tincture. It's a painkiller and not addictive. Oh, cool. Yeah, most of the medical advice stuff I get is from the Franklies instead of like doctors or like I've never used WebMD. Their physical rehab is okay, but the doctors suck. Yeah. Like I think one time I had a doctor and he had a gut trying to tell me to lose weight. It's like, dude, like I had weight on me, but I'm thinking like, dude, you're fat too. So why don't you take your own advice? All right, yeah, Thursday. That's when, yeah, that's when Jupiter Gulanello, Jay Gulanello, Perpetual Health, January Gulanello. I don't know. Any J name except Jay. That's his name. Ah, maybe you've got bronchial epithelial asthma. Went to multiple doctors until I got reference. I have to take sedium puffer spray Nexium and quick ease tablets work the best for reflux. See, I wonder about my breathing because I've never been a good breather, but I'm a pot smoker, so I don't know if it's because of that. Uh, um, well, because I used to be fat, so I don't think I was good at breathing from back then. And I don't know if I learned how to breathe now. Uh, I sometimes I like watch my breathing when I watch these back to see if I breathe weird. I don't think I breathe properly. Like I don't run out of breath unless I'm, for example, like walking up the stairs to my seat at the theater. I didn't know there was going to be exercise involved. That's my level of health. Do I see a DO for back manipulation, Erica? Oh, what's up, Erica? I just go to he's just like a chiropractor. I don't think he like it's not in a hospital or anything. He just has an office in a building. And I've been going to this guy for I guess it's 20 years now. On and off. I've had to go less, I've had to go more. Dandy, I have no ass either. Tall and lanky, lol. I mean, I don't, I'm not like Hank Hill. It's not like I have zero ass at all, but I don't think anybody's that bad. Lisa, oh, I was lugging a log splitter backwards and forgot I had laid a wooden ladder and promptly fell backward onto its side support. Oh, damn. And then if as far as just bruising goes, put icy hot on it. Icy, as long as there's no cuts, icy hot, put a bandage on it so you're not getting icy hot on absolutely everything that it touches, so it stays on the bruise. 4 days tops. The worst it's gonna look is it'll be like yellowy, but it will get rid of like the worst bruises. Oh yeah, I bitch slap Satan talk about. I can't find the C in Francois' name because it's the I don't know like the name for that, but it's like it's French, so they have extra different characters in it, and I think I'm saying that right. Well, yeah, I think I'm saying that. That's a guy's name, right? I'm saying it right then. I beat you up. Yeah, high majority of times doctors think they're better than others. Yeah, they think they know what they're talking about, but all they really have is a license to kill, so they can say anything they like. Acid reflux, quick fix for me can be either apple cider vinegar and H2O, fresh sweetness, pardon me, fresh sweetest lemon juice, or baking soda and H2O. Oh, Logitech keyboard, QWERTY, yeah, that's pretty much the same. It's called is it Cedille? Or would it be Cedille? Pardon me. That's why I didn't use the French name for Joker too. I'm not gonna butcher French. Like that little A that it does with like the little line over it, that happens. Like if you just hold down the A on the keyboard on the phone, it will do that on its own. I mean, you can find the other glyphs for like if you need it going the other way and all that stuff and dots and the different vowels. I think it's mostly vowels that do that. Got the extra, unless it's Spanish. Then you got like the tilde over the N. That's different. Yeah, Jay Gulanella was on. And then Frank had asked if there was a quite frankly retreat in New York, would people travel to go to it? And he put up a poll and it was like, I want to say like 67% said yes, they would. And I mean, like, yeah, I mean, New York is not, like, from where I'm at, that's a 9 hour drive. Like, from here to roughly where Frank is or the studio, call it what you will. We're not going to go to Frank's house. But, like, from here to the studio, that's about a 9 hour drive. And I was like, oh, dude, well, you got to get a Chris Ann Hall there. And Frank's like, yeah, Nikki, we get Chris Ann Hall there. I'm thinking, dude, fuck yeah. If she's there, I'm going. I bet slap Satan. Yeah, either of the three choices. I did buy some baking soda just to try because I've never tried. I don't get a lot of acid issues, but just to like stop maybe like the sour stomach and not take a Tums, something like that. Which would really only happen if I had not eaten in a while. But I got it, I tried it, and like careful, don't use too much baking soda because it can be bad for you. But it tastes sweet. It's slightly sweet. I was not expecting that. I was expecting like usually let's medicine tastes bad or just plain or just has an aftertaste. No aftertaste, it's just sweet. So next time if I do get heartburn, I want to try it. Like I could give myself heartburn for science, but I don't want to. Not this month anyway. October starts out so great because of the new year. And then I've got a bad anniversary at the end of this month, so it will be rough. Yeah, half teaspoon of baking soda in like half a glass of water, which is something like 4 ounces. Like it'll tell you the amounts either on the packaging or you can look it up online. But they tell you like, don't take so much at a certain amount of time because it's gonna do something to you. I don't know what. I don't want to find out. I don't know what this white powder is gonna do to me that's gonna hurt me. Oh, and that's when Frank had the clip from the guy who was on their show on Zadol's in New York back in like 2012. Uh, did I write that down? I didn't. Well, he was on the show in April and he ate the light bulbs and he broke a world record. Ate a light bulb in 33.8 8 6 seconds. But yeah, on the show in April and then arrested in June. R.J. Williams for Robin Banks or something, or setting fires or something like that. No, Erica, I had a mystery pain in my side, but I think I figured it out. It was just from like talking too much, or like I must have sat wrong at a couple of shows 2 weeks in a row, or I don't know if I just spoke too much. And then I had it again on Thursday after I had been singing really low notes that hurt on the same side. So I finally put two and two together. I'm like, well, maybe if when I hurt myself the day before singing has something to do with the pain coming back. Because it wasn't quite the same. Before it was like 2 hours, like it starts on one side and travels. This time it just kind of hung out there for maybe like 3 or 4 hours and then went away. So it didn't do the whole traveling across my stomach thing. So I could eat right before the show. Like I had a couple of generic Cliff bars, which is probably less calories than I usually eat, but it was better than having nothing at all. So that's don't sing until it hurts. That's what I learned. We're getting healthier. And Frank did mention Pam. She was I think she kind of grew up with Frank's dad, and she had gone through some stuff. It sounded like she had been like abused by this fella for it might have been a family member when she was young, and then into her 20s, and then she dealt with all that BS and got away with it. A stronger person for it, and what happened was Frank had not been in touch with her for a while. I mean, she would come to the chat room. She was mowing the lawn one day and went missing. And so I'm like, well, let's form a search party. And all we really did was party. And then she came back around. She was like, set her phone down and went to the store. And we're like, oh my God, how do you just set your phone down? But yeah, Frank had not been in touch with her around like 2019, 2000. And then, with people not visiting each other in 2000, he just was not able to see her. And then he had found out that she had passed away. And that sucks. That lady was cool. She had a show with Frank's dad, Anthony, way back in 2019. They would come on. I forget if it was the same night as the Dalza, but they sat there and watched some old movies. And one of them was a movie with Sharon Tate. I would have to look it up to find out what it was. It looked to be filmed in, like Italy or France, something like that. But I remember sitting there through those shows with her and Frank's dad. And I guess they called her Madame Zadalza. So that was and she does have a last name, but it does escape me right now. I don't want to make a guess at it. But that chick was cool. I'm not sure what she did pass from, if she had been ill. I think this was before like the shots were taking anybody out. If Frank did say, I have forgotten, it's been that long, but he did mention her, so I did want to mention something here. And I would like to remember more about those movies that I sat and watched with them. Because it was like an hour, like the first time, then the second hour, the second half, something like that. That's how we watched Twister back in 2015 on Sedalza. Oh, yeah. See you next time, B-Chap. Oh no, I almost forgot. Yeah, Wednesday. Matt Christensen, Morning Sickness Matt. We always go to Matt Christensen the first Wednesday of the month, and Frank is there, like co-hosting for like 30 minutes, maybe longer, however long he feels like staying. Now, of course, Matt Christensen was on Tenet Media. That became not a thing, so he's on his own channel. That's fine. Last time was okay, but this time what he has now is a big old white border around the whole screen. So now rather than my original plan was to like try to stay for the whole time to get to know those folks, because there's always cool people in the chat rooms when Frank has them. But when Frank is the guest on another channel, the folks that hang around are always cool. But with that white border, I had to sit there with my hat on the whole time, could not see anything. So that's just gonna strictly be a frankincense thing. When Frank's there, yeah, of course I'll be there. But the second he bounces out of there, I gotta go too. I can't see anything. And honestly, by about 9:20, 9:30, I've already been in a chat room for 2.5 hours. My eyes are getting tired. I'm used to, sometimes I fall asleep at 9 o'clock. So or right after the show ends, I'll turn off the laptop and nod out. So I'm usually asleep by then. So for sleepy and vision reasons, that I mean, of course, we'll show up to Matt Christensen, but as soon as Frank's out of there, so am I. I just cannot. My eyes can't take it, and it's nothing against Matt or Matt Christensen or any of the people there, or it's his choice if he wants to use a bright ass white border at 9 p.m. at night. That's okay. More power to him. He's still a good guy, even if he doesn't have a lava lamp. And he is, what, 5 months along. Maybe he's not thinking clearly. But what reminded me of that is Matt McCat was back on the Friday show. So he's, his back is feeling better from the accident a couple years, not years, but a couple weeks ago, a week or so ago, whenever that was. So he's doing okay. He's just sleepy because what Matt does, he works for the city. And part of that is he does have to go down into the sewers. What's in the sewers of New York? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So the guy's tired. So that's what he does. That's his job. He's a cat that fights turtles. All right, have a good one. Oh yeah, okay. This was the same thing. Was it like this guy had his child? The child was the child autistic something, and then the guy decided like I'm not going to give him medicine anymore. I'm going to give him half a cup of coffee and see if that doesn't help with his focus and I want to say energy, but you don't really need to give a child energy. They come with it. But I wanted to know how much coffee, like what size of a person and how many milligrams of coffee equal a cure, because too much caffeine, you get the jitters, you get nervous, but I mean a little bit of caffeine will help you, wakes you up, gives you some focus. And so I wonder how long he did that for. Like, was it so many years and then he was okay? What brand of coffee? Was it Folgers? Was it Maxwell House? Was it, some kind of, did he go to Starbucks every day for this child? And it was coffee, not espresso. It wasn't giving this child energy drinks or anything like that. Which you really shouldn't do. All the chemicals in energy drinks, maybe hold off until you're 18 when you start taking those. Just because you don't know what those chemicals are going to do to you when you're young. And then Friday was a lot of talking about how bad the response has been for the hurricane. And, folks have gone, so many days they haven't had a shower. They haven't seen, anybody outside of anybody coming from the outside to them, and it is tough to hear about, but I'm glad we are hearing about it. I'm not glad it's happening, but I'm glad the word is getting out, so we know that this is going on and it's not okay, and there should have been help for them sooner, but that's not the focus of the folks in charge of the nation, unfortunately. And somebody did point out, they're like, think of the first Avatar from 2009, how they wanted that unobtainium, and the only way to get it was to chase the Na'vi off of their land. So I'm like, that's what they're doing. They're copying Avatar. That was how long ago? Oh, Patrick, yeah, ADHD, I think. Yeah, okay. It might have been it. Let's see. See, that's interesting, giving a hyper person uppers. Because what will happen, at least with me, because I do take 300 milligrams of caffeine before my feet hit the ground, but if I take too much caffeine, if I were to take, six, 700 milligrams of caffeine, then I would start to get sleepy. So, like, is that like you kind of overclock the hyperness to kind of cancel it out? So all that's left is concentration. I don't know anybody who's like ADHD to like try that out with, like, hey, let's go to Starbucks. Let's see what this does to you. How do you feel now? Francois, yeah, this is what they do, chasing people to grab land. Yep. That's what it is, trying to scare that's like with all like the looting and stuff. That way the, people can come in and buy the destroyed property for a cheaper price. Yeah, we knew what that was about. Yep, don't date your fans, never break character. Which that's just good Hollywood advice, I would assume. And did anything happen on the show that I didn't touch on that anybody else wanted to bring up, since we've got just a little bit less than 10 minutes here? But then anything we didn't cover today, we've got, well, a couple of days and then we'll be here again. Frank did mention somewhere. Try to find this again. Maybe not. I could have swore Frank had something that was going to premiere tomorrow, the 6th. Again, it would be like something today. Like he'll take like a clip from an interview and put that out separately. Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe if I go to Frank's channel. Okay, I'll disregard that. Well, it's not like he's really going to be going live on a Sunday. I don't know if he ever does that. Oh yeah, Dusty Blue, have a good night. It does seem weird that it's October already. I really felt like we had another week of the year left, but my year, but that's okay. Maybe it's because September felt so short and August felt so long. Could have sworn Frank. Maybe I'm thinking of the thing tonight and I misread it as the 6th. That could have been. That really could have been. Okay. Never mind that then. But yeah, Frank is going to be off next week. He takes his family and some of his friends up to upstate New York. And it's like they rent like this cabin on a lake. And they just hang out up there for a week and take it easy. I don't know what they get up to, but I do know that's when Frank does his Bigfoot hunting. And he will be going live. He said, I don't know if it's going to be every day while he's off, but maybe most days. He did this last year. Just like his coffee chat in the morning, and he'll be just out there on the porch, and like wooden, beams across the way, very rustic, and sometimes other folks come out there and just kick it with him, and it's super chill, super laid back, and he'll like show us the whole area. Super quiet. You're not hearing airplanes or cars or yelling, anything like that. So I'm glad they do get to get away, and it is the perfect time of year for it. If you can get vacation time any time of year, go for the second week of October because you still get usually you still get the warm weather and you get the pretty colors of the leaves and everything like that. And it's not too Halloweeny yet, not too cold yet, usually, not rainy and miserable, at least roughly around here. If you get a rainy early October that's miserable like that, I'm so sorry. This should be a nice time of year. It should be very, very pleasant, especially on the 11th. Since next year is so up in the air, I'm glad we get this New Year's Day together for 2 solid hours. I don't know what that's going to be like. That's got a whole week away. And then by Monday, not Monday, I'm sorry, but by Tuesday, let me finalize my idea for the film to watch, since you guys had a lot of good ideas, and just running through and finalizing things. I do like the idea of everybody watching Merlin. I don't know if that would be everybody's thing. The one from 1998. I'm sure there's other ones. The TV movie, the Sam Neill one, and Martin Short and everybody else. You may have already seen it, but it's worth watching. It's a two-parter, and we're watching it for the end. The end is very important. Oh, and one of the Franklies did say, Lancelot said he's been with Quite Frankly since 2014. That's a year before me. So I wonder what Zadalza was like back then. Because it was just, 5 people in the room when I showed up. I could not imagine it any smaller. But yeah, I'm glad you guys had a couple of hours to spend with me on a Saturday. Since we didn't have a Saturday show last week, it is weird to have that one extra day before I got to see you guys again. But that's all right. We had an extra day of Quite Frankly, so that all worked out. So always support all of your favorite content creators, like the videos, share them if you've got somebody to share them with, and make sure all of the notifications are on, since there's options even for personalized notifications, but it doesn't give you a place to personalize them at. So I don't know what YouTube is doing with that. And if you are gonna sing and it hurts, just take my advice and just stop. I should have listened to myself. I'm doing such a good job. It's an old work habit when you just ignore the pain until it's too late. Then you get chronic conditions like I have. Oh, Patrick, thank you. Yeah, nice and cozy. Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, check out the first Joker if you haven't seen it, and if you have, you can watch the second one. And I'm sort of low key interested in what the other people who have seen it are reviewing, saying about it. um, I sort of stand by what I said. It like there is a lesson in it. It's not The Last Jedi. It doesn't have like dumb editing. Like, it does make sense. It's shot well. The score wasn't really that noticeable other than the songs. I mean, there was some music in places, but more it was about the songs, which is fine. They're all good standard songs. They're just sung differently. And Joaquin Phoenix can sing. If you don't know that about him, he's a good actor. He's a good singer. He's not phoning in the performance. Don't know what he does off of the set. Can't speak about that. But as far as his acting goes, you're not going to be disappointed. And I think he won an Oscar the last time. I don't know if he's going to get one this time. That doesn't happen until that's a next year issue. I'm not thinking about next year until a week from today. So yeah, I love you guys. I'm glad you guys do like these Saturday shows. I never thought I'd be a live channel, but I mostly do live stuff, and it's getting the channel somewhere. And I wouldn't have a channel without you guys. So it's all you guys showing up and liking the videos and commenting and having a good time. Oh, Lisa, thank you. Good visit. Take care, everyone. I'm glad you're a friend, Nikki. You're awesome. Oh, thank you. You too. You guys are all kick ass. I would lose my shit to meet any of you guys. I sort of think of everybody I know kind of as a celebrity, so I sort of like fangirl at the thought of meeting anybody. So if I do meet you and freak out a little bit, just don't take it personally. Or you can. But yeah, Franklies are good folks, and I'm not just saying that to talk myself up. That's you guys. Yeah, solid thespian. Yeah, definitely. He's you know not a guy. I don't want to get in his pants or anything. There are some other actors like sure, don't let me get them behind a locked door. So, but it doesn't have to be about sex. It could just be about good acting. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, check out Quills from 2000 if you have not. I don't know if you can find it streaming anywhere. It flew under the radar. You can find it maybe secondhand at a used DVD store for literally $1. They're not charging too much for it. Great film, though. Really great film. Good music, good soundtrack, great casting. Again, it's in my top 5 of all time. It got up there immediately. Rated R for a reason. Do not have the children around when you watch that film. Not kidding. Issues. I'm not doing trigger warnings or anything like that, but it's again, it's there's content. Don't be playing that outside on a projection screen, please. So yeah, love all you guys. I'm glad you guys have time for me. I love making time for you guys. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else than seeing you guys right now. It is hard to end these. So yeah, and if you do see anything on Tubi you think anybody else would like, go ahead and throw it in the comment section. I'll definitely see that. And I guess we'll see each other again on Monday, quite frankly. And of course, I'm on the internet. I'm always around. And just enjoy this last little bit of my year. Been a hell of a year, but gonna white knuckle it to the end. I don't want to put any. I do want to say this. I do want to say this because I didn't say it last time. There's no reason why Grace Still Plays will not be at 8 million subscribers on New Year's Day. Going on record with that. I believe he's at like a 7.97 last I looked today. No reason why he can't get there in less than a week. And if he doesn't, you can call me a bullshitter, but I stand by that. Yeah, Jen Rogers, you too. Have a great night. And, I guess you can leave your pants on the floor. It's just going to be a couple of days. Oh, Francois, yeah, thanks and good night, everyone. Take care. Yeah, good night to you too. Get some good sleep. Have a good meal. A great Sunday. And until next time.